podcast. I'm your host, Ethan, and I'm joined by my co-host, RJ. Say what's up to the people, man.
What's good? What's good? Very glad to be back. It's been a minute, but I'm very, very glad to be back.
As am I. You know, we've had some things going on. You know, first week we missed Christmas, of course. Week after that, it was New Year's. So both these weeks, mainly me. I'm sure RJ and Jalil were as well. But I was traveling a lot. I didn't really have the time. Everybody was just taking some time away, spend time with the families. You know, think about what's important. So I hope everybody enjoyed their New Year's, their Christmas. And then last week, RJ and Jalil both were traveling, going back to school. You see RJ's back in his dorm room, so do some traveling, and so we couldn't record last week either. But we're back this week, and we're going to be back every Monday from now on. And as you can see, this week we don't have Jalil. He had some things going on in his family that he had to be at, so make sure I keep Jalil in y'all's thoughts and prayers as he's going through some stuff right now. But he should be back about next week. And we're back to the normal schedule. RJ, how are you feeling about that?
I'm loving the normal schedule. I'm going to try. Obviously, this first week it was tough getting back on schedule. I'm going to try to get these solo, individual type of videos out weekly again. I really enjoy doing those type of videos. I'm working on right now. I think people are really going to like. But yeah, I'm going to try to get those out. I feel like if we can get 2 to 3 uploads a week, that'll be great for growing and then also for the fans we already have. So yeah, glad to be back on the normal schedule, ready to get right into this pod.
And please make sure y'all remember to like the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go down below, drop a comment, let us know how y'all like the vid. Let us know how y'all like the solo vids. Give us some feedback. It is always greatly appreciated. We want to know what y'all like at the end of the day. And so go follow our socials as well. Instagram, TikTok. We got clips over there that y'all would really enjoy, some short type content. And without further ado, we can go ahead and get into our first topic. So it's been almost a month since we've really sat down. You know, we've made some videos here and there. There's been some content on the channel. I've made a video and talked about this trade specifically, but we had the first big trade of the year happen, and it was between the Raptors and the Knicks. Mm-hmm. And so, RJ, why don't you start us off by going over that?
I don't know that you do the specifics. So I'm pretty sure you probably know the players more, but I can give my analysis a lot while you pull it up. As far as my analysis, I think it's a win-win trade. I think if you've been on the channel, you saw the video. I think it's a win-win trade. I feel like both teams get better in certain aspects. And I feel like the Raptors, I don't want to say, I feel like RJ Barrett's a good piece for them. Like as far as they restart this rebuild, because I think they're going to move on from Siakam as well. I don't know where he'll end up, but I feel like they're definitely going to move on from him. So by them trading, by them making that trade, to me it signifies that they're about to start that rebuild. They're about to kick it into gear, and they're about to try to rebuild. Because I feel like Toronto could be a good team. They just need to start the rebuild.
Yep. And I got the details right here. So, Of course, the one that everybody knows, OG Anunoby to the Knicks, as well as Precious Achiuwa and Malachi Flynn, both went over to the Knicks. And Precious Achiuwa, I think, is an underrated portion of this as well, because obviously Mitchell Robinson being out for probably all season, but if not all, majority of the season. If he does come back, it would be right before the playoffs, or the playoffs. That gives us some more size. And then Malachi Flynn, just another guy, a throw in that you never know. He could be something, maybe not. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly, as well as a 2024 second-round pick going over to the Raptors. And like RJ said, I believe this is a win-win trade as well. I detailed that, and the video I made was titled, "This is a win-win trade," because both the best player in this was OG Anunoby. The Knicks got the best player out of it. They also got the best fit for what they need out of it. Yeah. And I believe the Raptors are the same thing. The Raptors got two guys. One guy who's on a long-term contract. He could grow. He's from Canada. So, I mean, we've seen before players go where they're from. They play better. They're somewhere they're familiar with. They like their environment better. Exactly. That could help RJ grow. And he does what they need. He gives a scoring punch. Someone that can create their own shot, and he can still grow and not have to worry about the pressure of New York there. As well as Emmanuel quickly, who's a guy that you want to. He's kind of like a point guard he's going to be able to start now. He is starting, and he's a guy that wasn't getting. Obviously, he was overshadowed by Jalen Brunson in New York, and he's a type of guard that can score off the dribble. He can create his own shot, and he can play off of others. So your star player being Scotty Barnes, that really helps a lot, and that makes it to where he can really play both ways and really increase his role a lot with that team. So I like it a lot. Now, the one thing is, if the Raptors, who have traded OG last year, they could have gotten 3 first-round picks out of him. But what it seems like is they got what they wanted. They didn't really care for the picks. They want players that could help them win now. And Emmanuel Quickly before you go, RJ, Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett's a guy that can do that. Alrighty, and we're back. Sorry about that. We had to make a little cut right there. Not something we usually have to do, but had to handle some things. But this is a good segue. We can go ahead and move on to the next trade that happened actually today, at the day of recording this, and that is a trade between the 2 worst teams in the league. Well, 2 of the worst teams in the league.
Nah, you can say it. You can say it. They're the 2.
The 2 worst teams in the league, the Wizards and the Pistons. And I have the trade details right here, actually. So trade details. The Wizards and Pistons are finalizing a deal to trade Marvin Bagley III, Isaiah Livers, and 2 second-round picks to the Wizards, and the Pistons are getting Danilo Gallinari and Mike Muscala. RJ, I'll let you start this off. How do you feel about this trade?
And what I'm going to say is might not be fair, because I always think about stuff in the mind of a Celtics fan, like in the mind of like a contending team fan. But if you're either of these teams, why even make this trade? It doesn't move the needle. If you're the Pistons, I guess Gallo makes you. I guess you go from a 10-win team to a 12-win team. Like, are we? Does that move the needle? If you're the Wizards, what's the plan with Marvin Bagley? Are you out on? I know Gafford has injury issues, but are you way out on Gafford? Are we? Yeah. I mean, like, what is the end goal? I don't really see the end goal. And then when I watch the Wizards, they go a lot. They run a lot of. I don't want to say small ball, but they run a lot of lineups with like a smaller guy at the 4. So I don't know if Bagley really fits in well with the Wizards. So I really don't think this moves the needle or makes either of these teams particularly better. Might have been more about picks, but
Yeah, I mean the Wizards. 2 second-round picks isn't worth a lot, as we've seen in the past. But the Wizards got some picks out of it, and I guess they see something in Marvin Bagley because he's on a multi-year deal right now.
Yeah,
and Isaiah Livers is a guy that maybe could blossom somewhere else. Maybe they see something in both these players, but the Pistons. Yeah, I guess those 2 are 2 guys that are probably coming and play. Maybe, because they probably are better players for them, and they're also expiring deals. So maybe the Pistons think they're going to go out and get free agents this offseason. I don't know how much I believe in that. But that I would assume that's their mindset. And, Marvin Bagley, that relationship with Marvin Bagley hasn't been good this season, as we've seen. So I don't mind it, but I also think you don't have to do. I like them getting rid of Marvin Bagley because I think they had way too many bigs anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that, but you also gave up Isaiah Livers, who we've seen him be decent at times with him, and 2 second-round picks, which at the end of the day, it's just second-round picks, but you're honestly a team that needs all your picks. So I don't really get it. I think if we could say who won this trade, I would give it to the Wizards because at the end of the day, it's not like they're not getting any better, but maybe they see something in one of those 2 guys and they got 2 picks out of it. So, or maybe. We look at this during free agency. We say, "Wow, the Pistons have a lot more cap space now. They can go out and sign somebody." So, who knows? But
I'd say the upside of Bagley hitting a little bit is a lot more probable than the Pistons getting some big name free agent. I can't see that happening at all.
I think that as well. And I think the problem is, I don't think Marvin Bagley is going to hit. He's just a guy that does not fit in this NBA. He's an oversized power forward that can't shoot.
Yeah.
But maybe they try to turn him into some type of small ball center. We'll see. But I don't know.
Yeah. Both those teams are really bad anyways. And it's like, you made a trade that wasn't very consequential. I don't see, again, I just don't see, if it's not going to make you closer to being a contender, closer to being competitive, or just go full tank mode, and then it's like, what are we... Why would the Pistons make any trade right now? They're already terrible. They don't need help doing that,
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, probably a nothing trade for both teams. Maybe it'll be different when we see Marvin Bagley blossom a little bit, or we see the Pistons sign people. But I don't think either of those are going to happen. So we'll see. But now, RJ, it is time for us to get into the bulk of the episode. We're getting a little draft. We haven't done a draft yet.
It's been a minute.
And we're going to do a draft. So basically what we're doing is an all-star draft. So this is a draft of who we believe who are most likely, these players are most likely going to be all-stars this season. And we're just going to do a different draft of all-stars. And they don't have to have been an all-star before. There's players who deserve / will make an all-star game this season. And how we're doing it is we're just going to build our teams the way we want to build them and match those teams up against each other. and then y'all can tell us in the comments who will win, and we can maybe vote at the end who will win. And we're gonna do 12 apiece, and so we'll go over some snubs maybe at the end, because there's always snubs every year. Because the All-Star game should be 15 apiece, but it's only 12. So we will do that. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up something to write down to keep track of our teams.
Yes, sir.
And we can go ahead and get under it. So how do you want to do this like a serpentine? So if I start number one pick, you get 2, then I get 2. You want to do it like that?
Yeah, we can do it like that. Let's do that.
Sounds good.
All right. So you want to get first?
This up. You want to? I'm cool with either way.
You got it. You go first.
I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So got the teams ready, and I'll be pulling my big board is on my phone. So based off this season, with my number 1 overall pick, I think I'm going to go Jokic.
That's fair. It's always hard to argue against Jokic.
You could go Embiid because he's probably the MVP front right now, but he has missed some time. So because of that time he's missed, I'm going to go ahead and go Jokic. Jokic is off the board.
I think on my first pick, I gotta go Embiid. I feel like I'd be wrong to not go Embiid. So yeah, Joel Embiid first pick. I don't know if there's much. I don't know if you can really have much objection to that. I think that's a good first pick. You know,
I think it is too. And then here's your next pick.
Next pick.
A lot of options here.
I do. I got a lot of options. Give me Giannis.
Oh, Embiid and Giannis.
I think that front court might be a little too much to fuck with. That's a lot.
I like it. Okay. So Embiid and Giannis are off the board. All right. So now I got to think here. So I'm up next with 2 picks. I got a lot of good options. Man, there's some guys. Okay. Because I got to think about. I got Embiid and Giannis down low. That's a tough matchup, but I still think I'm going to go with kind of best available. So okay, I'm going to pick up Shea with my next pick.
Okay.
He's been having a crazy season, top 5 in MVP all year.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, because I'm trying to think about fit here
at
the end of the day. And I think after that, I'm going to go Jason Tatum.
That's solid.
I'm going to take Tatum from you. I'm going to go Jason Tatum.
I wanted him bad. All right.
Okay.
So how do we handle the Tyrese Halliburton situation? Because he's hurt and all.
He did just get hurt, but he's supposed to be back in a couple weeks. I'm pretty sure.
All right.
Right?
So yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go Tyrese Halliburton.
Fair. I was thinking about picking him up.
I think with my 2 bigs, having him down there would be pretty, or having him as a guard be hard to fuck with because his passing ability and he's really able to get downhill pretty quickly. And then, after that it gets a little muddy. I feel like
it does.
I think I've only drafted. You know what? I'll go Luka. Me Luka.
I was gonna get Luka
because I feel like we need a little shooting.
I was about to say if you don't take Luka, I'm gonna pick him up and I'll have him off my bench.
Ooh, yikes!
But
yeah, no, that'd be crazy.
I'm not gonna do that. Now you got Luka, so you're looking at Embiid, Giannis, Reese, and Luka right now. I've got Jokic, Shea, and Tatum. So now Luka's off the board. We take him off my big board. Now this is where you really get some options. You have a lot because you got to think. This isn't necessarily about their careers. You got to think about players, how people are playing this season. Yeah. A lot of these players have been playing really, really good this season.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Okay, I need. I'm gonna get 2 guys out of LA.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna be picking up Kawhi.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be picking up AD because I need somebody to be down there to mess with Giannis and Embiid.
You let LeBron go past?
Yes, I did. I did. Kawhi and AD fit my team better.
I'm gonna go. That's bold. That's bold. So what's your team right now?
So my team right now is Shea at the 1, Tatum at the 2, Kawhi at the 3, AD at the 4, and Jokic at the 5. Everybody can shoot, spread the floor. AD is probably our worst shooter on the court, but we have a bunch of 40+% 3-point shooters on the team, so I'm not worried about that. AD, I'm not worried about Jokic on defense. I got 80 down there, and I got Kawhi, and Jason Tatum's a great defender, even Shea. All my players are good defenders. They stretch the floor. I like my team a lot.
That's what I'm worried about with my team because it's like I don't want to say Tyrese is ball dominant, but Luka definitely is. So
that's why I drafted guys that I know can play without the ball too. Like Shea, we've seen him be able to play without the ball. Tatum can play off the ball too. Kawhi, he's shooting 45% of catches 2 threes this season. Mm-hmm. So, and then AD of course plays off of LeBron.
You see, I want to pick LeBron here, but that would be a clusterfuck.
It would
when you get on the court just because there's only one ball.
Yep.
I think I need someone that could get us some easy buckets. I feel bad saying this guy's an all-star starter because he's not. He's not an all-star starter. But I'm looking for easy buckets, someone that can catch some lobs, get some easy buckets at the rim. I gotta go Zion.
Oh man, I don't even know if he's on my big board. He's on my big board, but I don't even know if is he even an all-star?
Maybe. I don't know, but
I think he will be.
Yeah, I think he should be with the stats. He's averaging 22, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds.
You could definitely argue Ingram over him. Now the Pelicans have been playing some good ball recently.
Yeah, they have been.
But you could argue Ingram's the best player on that team. You could.
But I'm just saying
Ingram's on my big board as well. But
he should be. He's been playing good ball. Him and Zion. But yeah, I just think as far as like just easy buckets, someone that doesn't need the ball in their hands all the time, can catch some lobs, get to the bucket, not really a guy that's not gonna dribble you to sleep. He's gonna get to the basket and do what he needs to do. So Zion Williamson.
All right, so we both have at least for now, our starters. It could change with more people we draft. But I just want to ask you, out of the 10 guys we've drafted, how many of them do you think are actual all-star starters this year? All right, so we have Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, Shea, Tatum, Tyrese, Luka, Kawhi, AD, Zion. How many of those guys are all-star starters this year? I'll give you figure out your number, I'll figure out my number. We don't have to say who. We just give each other the number.
Read them again.
So my team is Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jason Tatum, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis. Your team is Joel Embiid, Giannis, Tyrese Halliburton, Luka Doncic, and Zion Williamson.
I got my number.
I have my number as well.
All right, you want me to go first or you want to go first?
We can just go at the same time.
All right.
3, 2, 1. 7.
7?
I would go with 7 of these. Let me look at my list. Now, who I think deserve to be the all-star starters.
Okay, I was kind of going off who I think will be.
I'm going who I think deserves to be the all-star starters.
Okay. So maybe my number would be a little different because obviously I would give Jason Tatum the nod. But I feel like
Jason Tatum the nod.
They're weird about like I think he's 4th in front court voting in the Eastern Conference. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it is what it is. I think
I'll just tell you who I think should be. I think Jokic is definitely a starter. Embiid is definitely a starter. Giannis is definitely a starter. Shea is definitely a starter.
Of course.
Tyrese is definitely a starter, in my opinion, for the East.
I think he should be too.
I think Tatum's definitely an all-star starter. Mm-hmm. I think he should be. He's on the best team in the NBA. Mm-hmm. Okay? And then I'm at 6. I think it's a little iffy, but I think I could give the nod to Luka to be an all-star starter.
In my mind, I had Embiid, Jokic, Giannis, Luka, and it was Shea. That's who it was. That's who I thought for sure should be all-star starters. Now, they're weird with the voting and stuff, but I think
they are weird.
Those for sure. I think JT should be because he's on the best team in basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think
I think like guys like LeBron, he's gonna be an all-star starter probably. Do I think he should be? No, not at all. And you know how I always am. I value record a lot. Record used to be a value a lot more. It doesn't get valued as much anymore for all-star, but I still value record a lot for all-star. Like, for example, like LeBron, he still should be an all-star, but I don't think he should be a starter when you're not even in the play-in right now.
Yeah,
and we'll get into that later when we talk about them and the Warriors. But that kind of leads me to my next picks. Even though this guy shouldn't be an all-star starter either, Steph Curry probably will be an all-star starter.
Yeah,
that's a guy who I'm going to draft next. But my next pick, I'm going to draft Steph Curry, and then I'm going to draft a guy who I think should definitely be an all-star starter. It won't be, and that's Anthony Edwards. He's on the best team in the West. I believe he should be an all-star starter 100%. Do I think he will be? Not at all. Just because I know how the voting are and popular. He is a very popular guy, but
Yeah.
he's not going to get the nod over because just stats wise and popularity wise, he's not going to be the nod, even though he should be considered he's one of the best team in the West. So I'm going to pick up Steph Curry and Anthony Edwards for my next 2 picks.
Those are solid. I like those moves. Yeah, my next 2 picks, 2 classic guys. Give me LeBron, give me KD. I feel like
fair enough.
I feel like it's tough to see them go this far and not get picked. So LeBron
That's
and
what
KD.
I was thinking the same thing about Steph.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that leaves us. You said LeBron and KD. Yeah, that's the thing. The Suns, they're like they're not doing the best either. So KD's having one heck of a season too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the Suns struggles, the Lakers struggles, the Warriors struggles. If all these teams were doing good, all these players would have been players we picked in our top 5.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But because of that, I didn't. Now we move on. Now it really gets interesting. So I'm looking at my team. I have 2 point guards. I have 2 centers, even though one of them's starting. I have multiple wings.
Wow, there's a guy we haven't picked that is having a monster season, bro. I won't say it though.
I have a guy on my list who's having a really, really good season. I have a couple guys on my list that are having really, really good seasons. I just don't know if I want to pick them for the way my team is built. I kind of need a big, but with I don't think I'm taking a big right here. I might just have to rock out with Jokic and AD for now. Okay. Do I let the bias come in? I'm going to let the bias come in too.
Oh, God.
PG is getting drafted right now. Now, will he be I think he'll be an all-star.
I think he should be. He's been playing good ball. And y'all been playing better.
Especially as of late.
Better ball.
Now, do I think he'll probably be one of those last spots, like when it's one of those last 2 out of the 12 spots, I think. But I'm going to go ahead and draft him with a bias in a little bit. And then I needed another big, but there's a guy that's just having such a good season. He's a guard. I can't pass up, and that's De'Aaron Fox. I can't pass up on De'Aaron Fox. I'm just going to pull up his stats really, really fast. We talked about him previously, but this man has been having one crazy season. He's averaging 28 points, 6 assists a game, shooting 40% from 3 still, on 47% from the field. This is a guy that the Kings have kind of been middle of the pack, but he's been having such a great season. Sabonis is having a good season as well. I was thought about drafting him, but he's not a guy that I really wanted to draft because I wanted to draft more of a defensive center.
Yeah.
And that's just so I figured I'd go another big wing, PG. He can play off the ball, play on the ball, do whatever he needs me to do. I need him to do. And then De'Aaron Fox is a guy I can give the ball to and tell him to go run my offense.
Okay.
So
I like those moves.
So draft.
I just picked 2 wings. Yep. So I'm gonna go with 2 guards here. I'm gonna go with.
Let me guess.
Okay, guess.
You're going with Jalen Brunson?
No.
You're going with Devin Booker?
No.
Oh, okay. Who are you going with?
I'm gonna
Tyrese Maxey?
No.
What? Okay.
I'm gonna go Donovan Mitchell.
Okay, fair enough. He's been having a crazy season. Yep.
And then a second pick is kind of tough because, again, it's like one of those situations you said. Like, do I let the bias creep in? Do I try to fight it off?
Let the bias creep in. Come on.
Give me JB. Give me Jaylen Brown.
Fair enough. He should be an all-star just because of how good y'all are. Now you could argue. I don't have Porzingis on my big board.
I don't either. But I don't think you should make it.
But if there's some injuries or something that happens and a couple guys get out, I would not mind him getting an all-star.
Me either. And I think again, like you said, like your team. I don't want to say by far the best in the league, but we're up there with the best teams in the league.
I'd say by far.
Right? Yeah, we're up there.
From what we've seen.
I feel like he's the 3rd best player on our team. If you're the 3rd or 4th, but if you're the 3rd highest scorer or 3rd most effective player on the team, even if you have faced some injury issues or maybe not put up as many points, you should definitely. There should be some benefits to being the 3rd best player on the best team in the league.
Yeah.
So I think he should make it.
All right. So now we're getting down to it. I have 2 picks right here. Then you have 2 picks. Then I have 1. Then you have 1.
Okay.
All right. So we've got a lot of good options left. Man,
it's tough right here.
A lot of good options.
I think I'm gonna pick someone that's not gonna be all-star.
You think so?
I think that's my next pick.
I think. Oh man, I don't want to get. Man, there's so many guys that are having such good seasons, but I'm trying to think about my fit for my team. And because of that, okay. Because of that, I'm going to go. I need another big. I'm going to go Bam Adebayo.
Okay.
He's been having a great, stellar season. And I think he'll get in for one of those center spots out east. But I could see him missing it too. But if he doesn't, he'll be one of those snubs.
Yeah.
And then I'm also going to go. Oh, man, this is tough. I'm going to go Tyrese Maxey. He's been having such a good season, and it's kind of still been going under the radar. He'll be an all-star. You could argue him being an all-star starter this season.
Yeah, he's been really good.
Really good. Out of the guards out east, Tyrese Halliburton, I think, should be starting. You have one of the guard spot out east that has to start. Who is it between? It's really between Maxey and Dame, right?
Yeah.
I think I'll go Maxey.
We're gonna have to leave some people off. I'm looking at this list right now. It's gonna be some really good players that don't make it.
There is.
All right. So who you picked?
I picked Maxey.
Maxey
was between Maxey and Dame, but I picked Bam Adebayo.
Okay, that's fair. I like that. Whew. I'm gonna go Paolo. I think Paolo has to make it just because.
Fair enough.
Just because the Magic have been good this year, and we haven't seen the Magic be good enough. Actually good in a long time.
He was on my big board.
Yeah. So I gotta go Paolo. Damn.
Man,
okay.
There's some good players on this list.
Yeah, there's some really good players. So did you pick Brunson?
I did not.
All right, so Paolo and Brunson, that'll be my two.
All right. Getting down to the wire. We each have one more pick.
Okay. That's good. Wow.
Let me make sure.
It's going to be some good players that get left out, actually.
It is. It is going to be some very good players that are left out. Let me see. I'll take Brunson off this. Gosh, man, there's some. Man, I don't know who to pick right here. I don't know if let me look at my team.
I got to make sure I don't pick anybody based off, like, I like that guy or, like, he has to make it, I
like my team a lot, but it's just like. I'm looking at my team. What do I need? You can never go wrong with another. Do I want to pick this? I don't want to pick this guy because of how he's been having. Let me pull up this guy's stats really fast. He's on my big board. I don't know if he's on your big board. He probably isn't. But this is a guy. I predicted at the beginning of the season he would make an All-Star game.
No.
He fits my team. He's a guy that can just fit into any team.
I already know what you're going to say.
But do I need to pick him up? But compared to this guy...
You can't do the first guy. I already know who you're talking about. I for sure know that's who you're talking about.
I'm going to pick up Damian Lillard.
Okay, that's fair.
You know who I was talking about, right?
Were you talking about Mikal Bridges?
I was talking about Mikal Bridges.
I knew you were going to try to pick him up, bro.
The thing is, I think I don't think he will make it. That's why I didn't pick him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll be a snub this year. But he's a guy that can fit on any team ever. Yeah. That's why I was thinking about picking him up. But I'm gonna go with a guy who I think will definitely make it, and that's Damian Lillard. I have a lot of guards, but Damian Lillard's a guy who he can shoot for half court.
Yeah.
He can put him on any team. So I'll pick up Dame for my last pick.
All right. So now that you did your last pick, I can be a lot more transparent. I can be a lot. Yeah. I can tell you what I'm thinking. And right now, I'm between Julius Randle, who's having a monster season, and Lauri Markkanen, who might be having less of a season, but he's also having a great season.
Yep.
Man, and then there's also nobody picked Trae Young.
I didn't even have him on my big board.
How can you do that? He's averaging 27 and 11. That's crazy.
But you got to look at the eye test and how the Hawks are playing, right?
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing is the same thing last year. He was an all-star last year. I can't look at how the Hawks play, how I'm watching them play, what I'm seeing from him, the shooting splits. Even though the shooting splits are better this season, and say Trae Young deserves a spot over Tyrese Maxey, or I can't say he deserves a spot over Maxey. I can't say he deserves a spot over Dame. I can't say he deserves a spot over Tyrese Halliburton.
Brunson.
That's three. I can't say he deserves a spot over Brunson. That's 4 guards already. So that automatically puts him into a wild card spot.
Yeah.
and other guys that you would have that'll be in your wild card spots, right? Because you only have one more pick.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say he deserves a guy like Jaylen Brown. He would be a wild card probably.
Yeah,
he doesn't deserve it over Jaylen Brown.
No.
A guy like Paolo, he would probably be a wild card spot, even if he isn't. How about another guard? You got Donovan Mitchell on your team.
Yeah,
he's deserving over those guys. So with that, and nobody East versus West.
Nobody picked Book either, bro.
I didn't pick. He was having a great season in the beginning, but with I don't think the Suns deserve 2 All-Stars.
No, they don't.
I don't think the Lakers deserve 2 All-Stars either. But
it's LeBron and AD.
Bit different. Yeah, I mean Devin Booker. He's averaging 26, 5, and 8. But
I gotta go D-Book. I have to go D-Book. No, I can't. I can't. And you know why? It's because, like you said, the Suns don't deserve 2 All-Stars.
They don't.
And D-Book has spent a lot of this year hurt. He's been in and out the lineup, and so those stats, while they're good, I don't know if they told the full story of what's really been happening. So
he has played 29 games
out of what, like 30 something, out of 34 or something.
Out of, let me see, 29 games out of 38.
That's not terrible.
So he's missed 9 games.
That's not bad. How many games does Julius Randle miss? It depends how many. If Julius Randle hasn't been missing a bunch of games, I'll go Julius Randle. If he has more missed games than Devin Booker, I'll go Devin.
Julius Randle has played 39 games. That's 10 more games.
Yeah. So give me Julius Randle.
Julius Randle has played in all 39 games. 39 out of 39 games.
Give me Julius Randle. He played all the games.
He was on my big board. I was thinking about picking him up, but he's just not a guy that fits my team. That's why I didn't. At the end of the day. But now, before we get into our teams, we'll go over the snubs. So the biggest snubs I have right now, because I have my big board. The other 7 guys I had on my big board were Sabonis. He's been having a monster season. Devin Booker, we just talked about. Had Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
That was a guy that I really wanted to pick. And he's a guy that I want to make the All-Star game. Off simply the fact that they're the number 1 seed. I think the number 1 seed, when you have 2 players that are that good, they deserve to have 2 All-Stars. They do. I think he should make it. It's hard because you see all the guys we just picked. I don't know if I can say Cat's more deserving than any of these guys, So Karl Anthony Towns. I have Mikal Bridges on here. He would be a snub this year. I don't think he would make it. Larry Markkinen. Also Brandon Ingram. He's a guy that I think could get in over Zion. And Kyrie Irving, I have one here as well. He's been having a really good season. Any other snubs come to mind for you?
Trae Young. As much as you say he doesn't pass the eye test, it's tough for someone's averaging a 27-point double-double to just
give that to you.
Make it, Other than that, I'm not sure. I like what Scotty Barnes has been doing, but he hasn't been the best player over there. He's their best player, but they're not very good.
Shout out James Harden.
Yeah. Maybe James Harden.
Bless you.
Thank you. I saw Şengün. I thought about it, but I couldn't because they haven't.
He's really high on the player voting or the not the player voting, the people voting.
Really?
He's like 5th on the list.
Whoa.
I think he's over Paul George or right under Paul George.
Fuck.
He might be like number 6 under Paul George or something like that.
That's weird.
Last voting I saw.
Nah, but he's a very good player. Like if he made it, I would be happy. Like I think he's a good player. I like for a long time Houston was the most dysfunctional franchise there was. So he was the only part of that whole franchise that was kind of like calm and normal. So I like that. Let me see. But yeah, I think other than that, that's all of it. Well, Desmond Bane's averaging 24, but the Grizzlies have been horrible.
The Grizzlies, that 13th seed. Shout out Rudy Gobert. Number 1 best anchor, one of the best defenses in the league on the number 1 team in the West. Shout out Rudy Gobert. Porzingis, we gave flowers. Shout out the other 3 All-Stars that Celtics have. Derek White, Drew Holiday. Shout them out. Jamal Murray, maybe.
Yeah, I thought about him. I saw him, but
he missed a decent amount of time. Yeah. So, we talked about these other guys. I'm trying to see if there's anyone else. We talked about Larry Markkinen. That's about it, honestly. Because all the other guys are either injured, like LaMelo Ball injured a lot, so he's not going to make one. He was having a great season before it started. Those injuries started on. Nobody for Chicago. We need to shout out Jimmy Butler a little bit. He's been having a good season, but he's never a guy that we all know the Jimmy Butler stuff. So yeah, I think we made, for the most part, made the right decisions. But now we can go over our team. So, RJ, do you have your team written down?
I don't. Do you have it typed up? Or?
I have it.
Okay.
I have it. So your team: Embiid, Giannis, Tyrese Halliburton, Luka, Zion, LeBron, Kevin Durant, Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, Paolo Banchero, Jalen Brunson, and Julius Randle. Now, how do you want your starting lineup to be?
Give me Reese. No. Give me Luka.
Luka?
No. Reese, Luka.
Reese, Luka.
Fuck. The 3 is hard. Reese, Luka.
You have KD.
I was about to say KD. Give me KD.
Reese, Luka, KD.
Giannis, Embiid.
Okay? So off your bench, you'd be looking like Braun at the PG, Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, Zion, and Paolo.
Yeah.
And then with your 2 wild cards being Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle.
Yeah. I like that.
For me, I'm going to start Shea at the 1, Tatum at the 2, Kawhi at the 3, AD at the 4, and Jokic at the 5.
Wow. That's a lot.
And off the bench, Steph at the 1. I'm going to rock Anthony Edwards at the 2. No, I'm sorry. Steph at the 1. Oh, I have a lot of guards. Steph at the 1. Maxey at the 2. We've seen Maxey be a good 2 guard. Anthony Edwards at the 3. PG at the 4. Bam at the 5. With my 2 wild cards being De'Aaron Fox and Dame.
That's good. It's hard to make a bad team out of all these guys, but I think we both did a pretty good job.
Job. For what I'll say, the weaknesses I think you have is the size off the bench. You don't have any size off the bench, really. Your biggest player, well, you have Julius Randle, I guess, and Paolo, but those are both 4s.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I have, but it's kind of the both because I have Bam off the bench. He's one of the best defensive centers in the league. And then my starting lineup, I have 2 quote unquote centers. You have kind of 2 quote unquote centers. You have Giannis. He's a power forward, but he can play big.
Mm-hmm.
So we both have very big lineups. Both can stretch the floor, shoot. I say my team's a bit better shooting wise than you, at least judging starting lineups. And I have Steph Curry off the bench, of course.
Yeah.
And then you have, of course, LeBron leading your second unit, so that's always good. All in all, we don't have to vote ourselves. We can let the comments decide, see what y'all think about our teams. I'm gonna go with mine, of course. I'm sure Archie's gonna go with his.
Yeah.
But that was fun. It gave us a way to really talk about all the players. A lot of different players having great seasons, a lot of different teams. So yeah. I like that. Anything else you want to add on to that, RJ?
Nah. I think we forgot. I think I need to add more players to the All-Star team because the league is too deep to have guys averaging 27-point double-doubles, not even really in the contention for making the list. I think there's too many good players right now. And I think
it should be a 15-man roster.
Yeah.
You had 3 more spots. That's 6 more players. Yeah. I think about the players we mentioned. Devin, out of all the players we have that didn't get mentioned, Devin Booker would now be an all-star. Cat would now be an all-star. Mm-hmm. Probably Sabonis, Laurie Marketing, Kyrie, Brandon, guys like that who deserve to make it would make it. And of course, every year we have injury replacements, stuff like that. But still, even with the injury replacements, there's other guys that I didn't even have on my big board. Mm-hmm. Trae Young, for example, like guys like Porzingis who have a great season, the best team in the league.
Yeah, all the Celtics guys, other than JB and JT. Like all of them are probably not going to make it, but it's like, we really have almost 5 All-Stars, So
I think so too, and I think it will be very beneficial to have 15 to 15 because even with the injuries, there's still guys that deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are going to say, well, they didn't have that in the past, and it makes it unfair. People are going to get accolades they don't deserve, but I don't think so. I think people are not getting accolades they deserve. Yeah. So I think we need to make that happen. Adam Silver, great commissioner. That's the next thing you need to do. 15-man rosters for the All-Star. But we can go ahead and move on to our last portion of the pod today with our question of the day. So, RJ, I wrote this down. I'm going to make this question, and I put, which team is more likely to miss the playoffs? Mm-hmm. The Warriors or the Lakers? Both of these teams are sitting outside looking in right now. The Lakers are the 11th seed, and the Warriors are the 12th seed. Now, I'm sure this is not what either of us were thinking at the beginning of the season. The Warriors are 18-21. The Lakers are 19-21. Lakers obviously won the in-season tournament. pretty much haven't really won games since. They beat our Clippers, of course, but haven't done much besides that.
Yeah.
And the Warriors have just been going downhill and downhill. So go ahead and give me your take. Which team do you think is going to be worse off and not make the playoffs?
I gotta go. The Warriors.
Okay.
They don't have as much to back up Steph Curry. Like I feel like it's Steph Curry, and then like their second best player might be down here, and it's like you can watch every game, and you don't really see see every game their second best player. You know, I feel
Their
like
second best player might be Looney, dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like every game you get someone else that's like has to pick up the slack. And so it's tough. They're looking to shop Wiggins, but there's really no market for Wiggins.
Nope.
You know, so it's tough. And I feel like the Lakers, as bad as they are sometimes, they at least have a couple different avenues to go through. You know, if LeBron's if AD's off, okay, LeBron can pick it up sometimes. It might not be great for him at age he's 39 now. It's not great for him to have to pick up the slack from AD, but if it happens, that he can at least build into a couple wins. If LeBron's off too, all right, then you got some bench guys that can hit some timely shots. You know, you got Hachimura, you got Reeves, you got guys like that that can really hit shots and create their own shot from time to time. But the Warriors, you look and you say, like, if Steph's off, but it's a rough night. Yeah, it's that simple.
Yeah. So I'm going to agree with you. I think it's definitely the Warriors. And I actually don't even think it's close, really, because everything that we see from the Warriors from the past month that we haven't been recording, right?
Yeah.
You have the Draymond Green stuff.
Yes.
Then you have your two rookies who are supposed to be pillars of your youth movement, both saying they're unhappy with their playing time. Nobody believes in their coach anymore. Steve Kerr, apparently people aren't even believing in Steve Kerr being a good coach anymore. They think he's got carried by Steph Curry.
Yeah.
I've been seeing some people say that, which I will disagree with. He helped build that over there, but he also did kind of come into it too. Now, he's part of that winning culture. We can never take that away from him, but he's not being able to handle this new generation right. And you have Chris Paul going down for an injury. He might not even play another game in a Warriors jersey.
Yeah.
And he was, for the members say, he's looked good. Yeah. He's done his job well running the second unit, but he's still injury prone. He's 39 or something like that. He's old.
Yeah.
He might not be 39.
I think he's the same age as LeBron, 38, 39.
I think, yeah. He's old. Klay Thompson, he has some good games here and there, but he takes shots. He just came out and said, I've got to change my attitude. That's good on him. I hope we see that. But before he said that, he continues to have the attitude of a star player and the cockiness of a star player, and he's not that anymore at the end of the day. So hopefully he's had that realization, because if he does, that'll help their team. They've had a guy who was just an all-star starter 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we say all-star starter, but still he was he was an all-star starter. And either way, he was going to make an all-star game that season. So, starter or not, he was definitely an all-star that season.
Yeah, for sure.
He was the second best player on a championship team. Andrew Wiggins was the second best player on the championship team. Reinvented himself. He got the bag, disappeared.
Yes.
This guy's one of the worst players in the league right now.
Yeah, he's really bad. I
mean, he can't hit a shot. I don't know. I know he has some personal stuff happen. Like I want to say it was last season, but this is unheard of. This is a guy who started his career a very, very hyped prospect. They called him Maple Jordan or something like that. Yeah. Took a lot of bad shots. Didn't live up to what he was, but he was still a good player.
Yeah, yeah.
Got traded to Golden State, reinvented himself. Kept doing all the stuff he was good at, and added defense and added the Warriors' mentality, smarter basketball, rebounding. He was a guy that was going to get a bunch of rebounds. He was guarding your best player. He was hitting shots. He was hitting big shots. I remember in those playoffs, he was hitting big mid-range, turnaround mid-ranges, hitting all this type of stuff that the Warriors don't usually take, but they needed it, and he would hit them. And then now he's a guy who's we talked about him on this podcast before, but it's just absurd to me how he's how this is flipped. He's averaging 11 and a half a game, 4 rebounds. He's a guy who can really rebound the ball.
Yeah.
Only a 1.5 assists, shooting 41% from the field, 29% from 3, 69% from the line.
Jesus, man.
I mean, this is one of the worst. This is one of the worst turnarounds I've ever seen. He's still supposed to be in the prime of his career.
Mm-hmm. He's what 20, 30, I mean, 29, 30.
This guy is. Let me
drafted in 2015. He's 18 years old, so he's probably like 28, 29.
He's 28 years old.
Yeah,
about to be 29.
That's absurd, man. And have you seen him play this year? He really just looks disinterested out there. It's like he's not worried about getting to the basket. Like, and that was a big part of Wiggins' game when he was really effective. Is he was slashing to the basket, and for whatever reason, I don't know if there's an injury we don't know about, or if he's just really just disinterested. It's like he's not as interested in getting to the basket as he should be. That's his game. He's supposed to be a slashing, athletic, good rebounding wing, and we haven't seen him do any of that. What is he shooting from three right now?
Let me see.
It can't be very high.
He's shooting 29%.
Yeah, and he's shooting these shots, and I don't want to say the defense is giving it to him, but if you got an Andrew Wiggins 3 over a Steph Curry 3, you're taking Andrew Wiggins 3 all the time. They're giving you these threes for a reason. You're not making them, and so he's just settling for these bad shots, and it's really taking a toll on his game.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who his All-Star season he only averaged 17 a game. But he was guarding the team's best player. He played elite defense. Mm-hmm. He was getting a steal a game, almost a block a game. And that's not just the only defense he was playing. He was playing just elite perimeter defense in general. Mm-hmm. He was getting 5 boards a game, shooting. His free throw line numbers have always been bad. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he's still shooting in the 60s from the free throw line. But his field goal percentage, this is a guy who was shooting 40% from 3, 47% from the field. So he's dropped down to 42% for the field and 29% from three. That's a 10% drop off with your 3-point percentage. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's absurd. And then his scoring is not his defense. He doesn't guard anything anymore. He just, like you said, he looks disconnected, disinterested. And then last year, his stats were about the same last year, honestly, from his previous year, from his All-Star year. It was a tiny bit down, but the big thing is he didn't play a lot. He only played 37 of the games last year. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened. His minutes are down too. He's only playing 26 minutes a game right now. Mm-hmm. This guy who's your All-Star.
How do you think reinserting Draymond into his lineup, into this team, do you think that'll have enough? Do you think they'll be reinvigorated and be able to make a playoff push? Because personally, I don't know. I'm not sure what that'll do.
I don't think so. I think this team is done.
Yeah,
and it's hard to say they're done because they have Steph Curry, but I think this team is done because they don't have much at all. Like you said, the Lakers have stuff they can hold their hat on. They have LeBron and AD. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna make a very, very bold prediction, and I would not be surprised if this is wrong. I think the Warriors are definitely missing the playoffs. And I think the Lakers are missing the playoffs too.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest.
The question was who I think has a better shot at making it, but I can see both these teams missing the playoffs. Now, I think the Lakers will be able to. I think they can sneak into a play-in spot, and then I feel like if you have LeBron and AD, you'll make the playoffs if you get a play-in spot. But I mean, really, I could see both these teams not making it. It's not like they're just either of these teams. It's just there's no way they miss it. It's not even like when you look at the Suns or how the Clippers used to be. Because I could see y'all getting back on track. There was I could see avenues where y'all get back on track. The Suns get healthy. I can see them getting back on track.
I can see them getting back on track too.
But these two teams,
Bradley Beal just had a 37-point game.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
I just with these two teams, I just can't see them getting it right. At least not this year. Yeah. Unless obviously at the trade deadline, anything can happen. But for right now, I don't see it. I don't see it happening.
I don't see it either. And like I said, I'm gonna make a bold prediction. I'm gonna make the prediction that neither will make the playoffs.
Wow.
And I think the Warriors definitely won't. I think from what I've seen, unless they could go on a run, they could prove me wrong. They've done it before. And I want to be mad at it. Of course, it's good basketball being played, but from what I've seen, I don't think they're gonna make it. And then the Lakers, they just look like they're a disconnected team too. I mean, like we talked about all the stuff the Warriors went through. They're young guys, Chris Paul being injured, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, but the Lakers have enough problems as it is. None of their role players can ever play good.
Yeah,
because you got to worry about one bad game. You're getting traded. And you're in LA. You can see why. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, and then of course they have problems with their coach now. If they end up losing this season, losing early in the playoffs, losing the play-in, or not making it, I guarantee Darvin Ham's getting fired.
Oh yeah,
I guarantee it. And I feel bad. It's not necessarily his fault.
It's just LeBron's on such a quick clock, and that's what I was about to say.
Yep.
It's like the Lakers have two different teams. It's like you got this young core, and it's like this rookie head coach and all these young players that could be good in their own right, and then you got this aging star, this aging goat, and another player who can't stay healthy. I mean,
yeah,
it's like, or he's been healthy this year, but I'm saying in the past,
they have.
It's like they almost have two completely separate teams, and it's like that's cool and that's good, but because it works sometimes, but it just it seems like everyone's on a different timeline, and it's not fair to Darvin Ham. It's not fair to all these young role players, but you got to go on the LeBron timeline with the guy who really has realistically 2 more years left this year and next year.
And
so
their team that is built, it's just built like they should be such a good team, but I don't know. It's odd, and they're supposed to be defending well. They still defend decently, but they just can't hit shots. And they have guys that should be able to hit their shots. They just can't hit nothing. And it's still, maybe they'll make some trades. Like you said, they have avenues to make trades. I'd like to see them get a Buddy Hield.
Yeah,
that would help them.
We've been talking about that we've been talking about the Lakers
talking about that for
Buddy,
3 years,
4 years at this point.
So, but I mean, and there's also rumors of like DeJounte Murray. I don't know how much that helps them.
A little bit.
It's a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, he's a very good player, but I don't know. They have avenues though, but my thing is, if history repeats itself, which it usually does, and I hope it doesn't, because you can say the same thing about my team, it's most likely that at least one of their guys are going to get injured this year. LeBron's gotten injured every year for the past 3 years. Yeah. Same thing with Anthony Davis, even longer than that. If history repeats itself, some of them are going to miss them. One of them is going to end up missing. One of them is going down, and hopefully it doesn't. We never want anybody to get injured, and hopefully they can hold down if one of them do. But neither of them have been injured, and they're still losing games. Yeah. They still look terrible. Yeah. So what's it going to look like if LeBron goes down?
Terrible, really bad.
Yeah, if AD goes down, they'd be okay because they have LeBron. But God forbid both of them go down. But if AD go down, they'd be able to hold it on their own a little bit more. But if LeBron were to go down, say goodbye to any playoff hopes. Yeah, they're not winning anything for LeBron goes down. And like I said, I say the same thing about the Clippers. I don't want to. History repeats itself. Kawhi and PG have been injured a lot the past couple seasons too. But at least with a team like that, if Kawhi goes down, they can still win games. We're not as good without Kawhi, but if Kawhi is out, we can still win games. PG is out, we can still win games. If LeBron is out, the Lakers are not winning.
It's over.
It's over. So that's why I said I'm going to predict. I don't want to say I predict an injury, but I'm going to predict one of those guys eventually goes down, even if it's just for a couple weeks span, and that ends up being the difference between them being in and out.
For sure.
Because when you look at the standings, teams that are above them, Houston is slightly above the Lakers right now. They're 500, they're 19-19. They've been playing decent basketball this season. Utah is still a team that's been playing decent basketball this season. Now they could be a team that trades everything. Larry Markkinen might be on the move, Jordan Clarkson, but they could be a team that tries to bottom out. But they're a good team. Yeah. They play good basketball.
Houston hasn't been shown to do that in the past. Like Utah. Yeah, hasn't been shown to do that in the past. If they're anywhere close, they're going to try to make that push, I think.
Yeah. Then you got Phoenix as the 8th seed, and they haven't been the best, but they've been enough to be that 8th seed. And you got Dallas has been playing. Dallas was a 2 seed for a while this season. They're the 7th seed right now, and they've been playing good basketball. Top 7. I don't see either of these teams beating the top 7 right now. Your top 7 are Minnesota, OKC, Denver, Clippers, Sacramento, New Orleans, and Dallas. And Phoenix could end up getting up there if they put it together. Yeah. Those two, the Warriors, I'm already giving up on. The Lakers are not going to be better than any of those teams, I don't think. So I think the Lakers are going to be in the play-in.
The saving grace for the Lakers is that from about 5 to 9, there's like a couple. There's not really that many games separating. From really 5 to like 8, they can if you put together maybe a stretch of games where you win. If you win 7 out of 10. Then you're looking at a way different type of situation, But I mean, you still got to do it, I mean, if you can't get it done, then it's like, And you're gonna have to obviously if you're gonna win 7 out of 10, you got to beat some good teams. So it'll be interesting to see. But
it will be. I'm just worried because we've seen they've been so disinterested in these regular season games. Besides the main playing games, the actual playing games, and then even the group play. Besides that, they've been just so disinterested. Yeah. It seems like. Yeah. So we'll wait to see. I'd love for the Lakers to miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now I want to see LeBron and AD play. Of course, I want to see greatness play. But end of the day, We all know I'm a Lakers hater around here.
Yeah.
Don't want to wish anything bad on them, but I'd be fine with it.
Yes.
And Golden State, I think they're inevitably going to miss too. So it's going to be interesting to see this offseason what happens with them. But unless you got anything. Oh, I do have a couple more things to add. Ja Morant out for the season. That's so tough to see because he was playing such good basketball when he came back. You know what they say, when it rains it pours, and that's just so unfortunate. You know,
it is. I don't know if Memphis has their pick. But it's time to just bottom out. If you're going to be ass, go get some prospects. You know, see, and if you can be bad enough, hey, you might be like the Warriors, and then just don't miss like they missed with Wiseman. But if you can get the second pick or something like that, then go get the second pick.
I think they. I believe I'm gonna check really fast. I believe they have their pick.
Yeah.
They have all their picks. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, they have the 2024 first round. They actually have one from Phoenix or as a pick swap from somebody else. They literally have all of their picks. So this could be something where we can see them make a big trade this offseason too. So
that too.
Like I said, this could be, you never want to see your star player go down, but this could be a blessing in disguise. So if you end up biting him out and get a top 5 pick, you want to trade that, I'd say don't go the Warriors route. I say trade it. Go bring in your Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
Tried to before. Bring in maybe if OG Anunoby doesn't re-sign, go sign OG Anunoby. Yeah. Bring in these guys so you can bring in an actual second star for Ja.
I can see them going to get like a Zach LaVine or like a DeMar DeRozan, although he's a little older. But you could definitely get someone to pair with Ja, and
you got a lot of options.
Yeah. That might not work as well. But yeah, like you said.
I think if they can go get Mikal Bridges, like they already tried to, but if you get a top 5 pick, then that's a lot different. That brings a lot more value. If you can go get Mikal Bridges, that's a scary team.
Yeah.
Offense and defense. So they have a lot of options. They're gonna have everybody back next year. This is the year you bottom out, you get a pick, you make the right decisions in the front office. So but yeah, shout out to Ja Morant. He was having a crazy season before he came back. I just want to make sure I shouted him out because it's so unfortunate to see a season-ending surgery like that. But I believe that should be all, unless I'm missing anybody else. I don't think anybody else anything else has happened. So
I guess I got to give a double shout out to Ja. I made that Ja Morant video. It kind of, I don't want to say blew up. Got to 1,000 views or whatever. So shout out to the viewers if you're viewing right now. We're kind of deep in. It was an hour and 2 minutes. That's kind of deep in. Yep. But if you're still watching, thank you. But yeah, I think as a channel, we're really making a come up. So yeah,
we're just trying to grow, and maybe in a year's time when we look back and listen, think, wow, this is crazy.
I know.
So, yep. Oh, one more shout out really fast. While we were on our hiatus, Detroit basketball finally broke their losing streak. That happened after.
Yes.
So they're on another losing streak now. Yeah. But they broke it against the Raptors. But now they are on a how many game losing streak now? I just want to mention it.
Just 7 or 8. I think
7. They're on a 7-game losing streak now. But they did get that one win. So congratulations. Yeah, but yeah, that's all the shout outs we got. Like I said, we're back on weekly, so y'all be able to look at us from every Monday at 12. We'll be uploading, and the solo vids are coming back out as well. Me and RJ are each going to try to get out once a week, I'm sure. And we appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure y'all catch us next Monday at 12, and thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to your news, comment down below, follow the socials and all that. Thank y'all. And we're out of here. Peace.